You know, on a Tuesday morning about this time, we always talk with our good friend, Dr. John Braccio. He's your good friend as well. Over to Regional Psychological Services East Lansing, drjohnbe.com on the web. How many times do you give a good compliment? Boy, I fall on that sometimes. I think I focus more on giving my daughters compliments than, say, my wife. I don't know, it just seems like they need them more. Joining us now to take that apart and tell me that I am a wrong individual. He's our friend, Dr. John Braccio. Doc, good morning.
Good morning to you, Mike. You're a great guy, but I would work on that. How does that
Okay,
sound?
fine. Yeah, all right.
Because I think in a society where half of marriages end in divorce, it certainly makes sense to try to figure out ways to keep marriages and families together. You know, one of the most obvious ways that is lacking in so many cases is cementing love with ongoing sincere compliments. One needs to look upon a marriage as a garden that needs to be watered and have sufficient sunlight to grow and be flourishing. This is done by sincere compliments and recognizing the love and caring you have for your partner. It is really amazing that people will put so much effort into a courtship and talk about never-ending love and caring. And once in the marriage, they begin to take things for granted, do not continue the courtship. One needs to constantly be courting someone you love. It needs to be done not as a job, but as really part of what one does when they love and care for someone. When growing up, I used to love hearing my father saying my mother was better looking than any woman in Hollywood, and he was glad she did not use all that fake makeup and plastic surgery they did. She loved it, and it worked since. They were married for nearly 50 years, and I'm sure they would still be going strong if they were really living, Mike. I mean, words of endearment, support, encouragement, recognition, appreciation, and regularly saying how much you love your partner, these are critical things. If spiritual, you can thank God that two of you are together and sanctified your marriage. You can share important religious holidays together. Now, recognition of how much worse your life would be without your spouse is something else to mention. I have worked with many persons in failing marriages and divorced persons who look back at the failures in their relationships and recognize each got caught up in the affairs of daily living to the point they lost track of each other in the nourishing of the love they needed in order to have a successful, loving marriage for a lifetime. Now, if that's happening to you, dust off the memories from your successful courtship and really start using the words, compliments, and manifestations of endearment that are expressions of how you feel and the importance of maintaining the marriage you have. It doesn't cost you anything, Mike, and the rewards and love and satisfaction you will receive are going to really be beyond expectations you can have. Love is a magical ingredient when shared between two human beings. It is a human tragedy when it is lost because persons have not worked on keeping it in place. Things as basic as a smile, a hug, a kiss, a touch, remembering important dates, and encouraging words of love and caring can make all the difference in the world to not only two loving persons, but also to the children who deserve every opportunity to be raised in a loving home with the two persons who conceived them. I might add, gifts and flowers and love notes and cards are very useful in enhancing love, as well as going out to dinner dates and sharing special occasions together. But as a final word, sincere and ongoing compliments really cement a loving and lifelong relationship. Mike, I'm just amazed how many people live together. They'll say they love each other, but they don't really show it. They're just in a routine. They go to work, they do things together, they look after family, children, whatever it might be, but they don't just grab each other, hug each other, and say, hey, I love you, I care for you, you really add so much into my life, and really kind of just pay compliments and love the person and care for the person. People just too often just become people that live together, and then they lose interest, lose the embers of the relationship, and the fire burn out, and they just move on or just live together in a, blah, blah kind of a thing. So I'm kind of a romantic person, saying, hey, come on, get out there, pay some compliments, let the person know you really care and love for them, and just make that relationship you're in the very best that it can be, and make it one to the ages. How does that sound? To be positive.
Yeah. I think what it is I just figure, I think it's on both sides, mainly mine, I suppose.
Well, both sides, sure.
I mean, we've been together married 25 years, together like 30 something years. And I just figure she gets it. She already knows. Wrong. I know. But
it never hurts to just say, since I've met you, I'm with you, my life is really so much better. It would be really tough if you weren't with me. Love you. And just a hug, just encouragement. Because you encourage your wife, don't you, if she does things that you really like? You don't say, well, you're supposed to do that. Don't look to me for a compliment, huh? The Ebenezer Scrooge in the marriage, those tend not to be happy relationships. And we recognize there are people that don't get along and aren't going to be together. I'm talking about people that really have cared for each other and do care for each other. But I've worked with many couples over the years, and they've just lost the magic. They've just kind of lost it. They don't hate each other. I mean, they even care for each other, but they've just lost that magic, that thing that makes two people very, very special. They're duty bound. One does this, take the trash out, take Chucky over here, do this, do that, and they just need to be courting. They need date nights. They need time together. They need to share experiences other than just the basic essentials of a life. I mean, that's my call, and I know people that do this and people I've advised that if they talk to me and they work on it, it can really enhance a relationship. So, Mike, I want you to go home, grab your wife, and let her know how much you love her. Give her a big kiss and just say, hey, you're a big deal in my life.
All right, Doc.
Doesn't cost you anything.
Now, is it a problem if I add on the back of that, Doc Braccio said I had to do this? I probably shouldn't say that, huh?
Well, I would rather be more spontaneous, but I'd rather, if you do that, just saying it's the beginning of many, baby. Watch out, I'm here.
Oh, listen to you.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Romance. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no, that's true. And it doesn't have to be all romantic. I think the last compliment I gave Lisa, I'm just trying to think, was I hate to say this, a couple weeks ago, but, her dad lives with us, and I said, I see you taking over and doting on your father. I just want to tell you, you're doing a hell of a job. And I hugged her. I said, that nobody else does what you do, and it's fantastic. I think that was great. She teared up a little bit, but,
That is a big deal. I mean, I think the fact that he's there and you both have him there, I think that's really a big deal. That's really a compliment to her and to you. I think that's very nice. Yeah, very positive. Right. Very loving on both sides.
Dr. John Braccio, always good to hear your words of encouragement and advice. DrJohnB.com on the web, Regional Psychological Services. You and I do this again next Monday. We're back to regular schedule. Doc, thanks a lot.
Okay, buddy. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
All right, see ya. Bye-bye. 1320 WILS and your morning wake up. 1320 WILS. I'm Mike Austin. This right here, this is your morning wake up.